What is Crossroads Today?
Hello and welcome to Community Crossroads. I'm Carolina Estrada, and here's a look at what you can expect on today's show. We hear from the Red Cross. We also learn about an upcoming hurricane conference. We hear from our friends from Moody Gardens, and we learn about an art walk. First, we're starting with the Red Cross, and we're welcoming Miss Betty Edwards. She's a volunteer, and Miss Angelina Garcia. She's from Corpus Christi, but plays a very active role here for our community with the Red Cross. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well, it's great to see both of you, and unfortunately, we're going through a lot of dangerous fiery conditions here. A lot of wildfires. We had that tragic incident in Sinton recently,
yes, ma'am,
which has spurred the need for more volunteers to help out with these shelters.
Exactly.
And it's Red Cross Month.
Exactly. So March is Red Cross Month. So 80 years ago, President Franklin Roosevelt declared that March would be Red Cross Month, and so every president thereafter has declared that as well. So we're super excited to celebrate 80 years. And today what we're really hyper-focused on is recruitment of additional volunteers in the Victoria Crossroads area. So it's absolutely essential that we have additional help out in the community when we have these disasters that happen, like happened in Sinton, which is San Patricio County.
And y'all are there for everyday occurrences, not that, you know, a fire, a structure fire or house fire should be an everyday occurrence.
Right.
But I know from going out on these fire calls, it's a frustrated homeowner. They're waiting on the Red Cross to come help provide them with that hotel stay that is so essential to them to get through their tragedy. I mean, it's a big loss to lose your home.
Right. So it's a great question and great segue. So with the Red Cross, a lot of folks think that it's just responding to huge natural disasters, but the reality is that we're responding to disasters, which are the home fires, on a daily basis. So again, it's absolutely essential to have those volunteers and to make sure that when disaster does strike, whether it's an individual or hundreds of people, we want to make sure that we have that trained volunteer workforce in the community ready to respond.
And the volunteers here locally, Betty, you lead them. Y'all meet every 2 weeks?
It depends on what function we're working in, but yes, for the fire calls, we try to meet at least every 2 weeks or once a month and talk about any trainings that may be coming up. And we just want to make sure that people are prepared and they know how to handle the different circumstances, because even though it's a fire and someone lost their home, we don't know what that client is actually facing. So we're talking about what we want to do to be able to help them.
What's available locally and what's available physically, manpower-wise.
Right, and the important thing to remember with the Red Cross when we're speaking of our volunteer workforce, so 90% of our workforce are volunteers, and they're specially trained by the Red Cross to go out and provide these services, whether it's mass care, to be a shelter associate in the event that we have a hurricane, or other mass incident like we did in San Patricio County where 25 plus homes were destroyed and there was a need for mass sheltering. You could be a shelter associate, be compassionate and loving, and get trained on how to be that person for your neighbor and your friends in your community when a disaster like that happens, or a hurricane, large-scale disaster where we have to open up a shelter of 200 plus people. So shelter associates is always one of our common needs. And then we have, like Betty Edwards is one of our disaster action team members. She is one of the individuals that goes out into the community and responds to these everyday home fires, making sure that there is a compassionate person there, trained individual, to be able to provide that immediate assistance for them. She's also specially trained in doing disaster assessment, so that's really important in those large-scale disasters, because that is important as well to get an understanding of what the community needs are going to be.
And this is all training that you can get as a volunteer?
Absolutely. It costs nothing. We are also making a big push because we're moving into hurricane season, so it's a great segue into that there's a hurricane conference coming, because we're rapidly moving into hurricane season, that storm season. So we're also making a big push in Texas and Louisiana for doing a ready reserve group of individuals. So we are attempting to recruit thousands of individuals who would be specially trained to be a ready reserve for sheltering, mass numbers of people.
Yes.
So it's a big initiative, it's a big push, but Texans and Louisianans are big-hearted folks, and they love running to rescue and serve their communities. So what a great initiative to go out and train thousands of people to make sure that they're prepared and ready to go and prepared to respond once or twice a year to either Texas or Louisiana, because our disasters are increasing year after year.
And the need for help is greater than it's ever been before. I want to thank y'all so much for coming on the show. I'm going to get all of the information posted on our website, crossroadstoday.com, so it's easy for our viewers to sign up, to volunteer. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, well, speaking of disaster, of the upcoming hurricane season, we're going to learn about an upcoming hurricane conference that's going to be held right here in Victoria. We'll be right back.